I got chat to create an isekai story. We isekai'd one chatter, randomly selected, who would be the hero, and everyone else would take up roles in the alternate world itself. I gave chat a map of the world and pointed them in a general direction they'd be going. The rest was up to them. Chat determined all the actions in the story, either from polls or what they wrote in chat itself. So I took what they wrote and I made it a complete story. And here's how that story turned out. Early morning, modern day Earth. Lilith wakes up in the morning and is late for an appointment. With no time for breakfast, she grabs some toast and runs out the door. But as she's crossing the road, she doesn't see the boxy white truck that's speeding towards her until it's too late. Y'all knew it was gonna start this way, so let's just get it out of the way. Lilith woke up in the middle of a quiet green forest. Moments ago, she was in the residential district of a city, but the buildings had now been replaced by trees. What happened? She tried to piece together what had happened to her when she hears a gasp and a branch snap nearby as someone rushes over to her. They make eye contact. And the purple stranger asks, "What are you doing out here? It's dangerous. There are gabogantes around." What's a gabogante, you ask? Excellent question. It's that, right there. That thing. Blah, blah. Video Monster is a seasoned adventurer and artificer, so he immediately jumps in to defend the lost civilian he found in the forest from the monster. Vidya readies for battle, pulling out his weapon and preparing his spells. But Vidya scraped his knee and panics. So he pulls a fish out of his bag and throws it at the Gabogante, hitting it in the face. While the Gabogante is distracted and trying to get the fish off its face, Vidya grabs Lilith by the arm and runs out of the forest. Yes, chat literally chose to run on their first battle ever against the weakest opponent possible. It was the tutorial battle, and they ran. Vidya learns that Lilith is from another world and decides to take her to the city and help her look for answers that might help her find her way home. As they're approaching the gates to the city, they pass a town guard who is throwing someone out of the city. They scurry away, but don't worry about him for now. We'll see more of him later. Vidya and Lilith head through the gate and look for the Adventurers Guild Hall to get some information or help. Upon walking into the guild hall, they see a tavern bar, and at the bar counter there is a cat girl pulling the bartender by his collar, upset that they only serve normal milk and no chocolate milk. How outrageous. In fact, there doesn't seem to be any chocolate milk anywhere at all. She's fuming and storms out the building. The two of them shrug and ask the guild receptionist for a lead. Have they ever heard about or seen someone who had come from another world? Turns out there was previously one other person who had arrived from another world. They are currently employed as the king's hero, Chimley the Barbarian. Thinking the royal court might know more, they immediately head towards the castle for an audience with the king's hero. Vidya and Lilith were not the first to arrive at the royal court. The cat girl from earlier, who was very upset about the lack of chocolate milk, had busted the doors down to the castle and is currently threatening the king. Now, the king is in the middle of explaining that there isn't any chocolate milk left in the kingdom. It's all been taken by the Demon Lord's army. Noticing Vidya and Lilith had entered the court, Chimley, hero of the king, asks their business. Vidya explains how Lilith is from another world. Chimley and King Mithril both turn their attention to our isekai protagonist now and tell our heroes what they know, which is there's no known way back to the other world. But defeating the Demon Lord will steady the rift between worlds and likely allow a chance to return to where Lilith had come from. The Demon Lord has also been starting battles throughout the kingdom, and the defeat of the Demon Lord would also help bring peace back to the land. King Mithril assists the team of adventurers by gifting her aid in the form of her champion, Chimley, so that they may succeed in their endeavor. Also, the Demon Lord is the one who has stolen all the chocolate milk, so cat girl who's terrorizing the king, please join the party and stop bullying the king if you want your chocolate milk back. Before they head out, the king asks just one favor. That's to defeat the Gabogante boss, since the Gabogantes have been stealing all the cows in the region and turning them into hot dogs. It's a problem. So the heroes band together and go on their first quest to defeat the Gabogantes. The adventurers trek through the forest where the smell of hot dogs is in the air. Many Gabogantes scatter around, running back and forth between the trees, but keeping their distance from the party. But once the heroes arrive to the main camp, the Gabogantes come out of their tents and surround the adventurers. They cheer louder and louder until from the shadows, the largest hot dog you've ever seen is swung out of the tents. A large Gabogante wielded it like a baseball bat. The Gabogante boss swings it at our heroes. A few swings of hot dog knocks our heroes back, doing great damage, but our heroes attack back. They exchange blows for a while until someone casts Maplemancy, freezing the Gabogantes with the power of maple syrup. And then they run away. Again, our heroes run away. They saw that 1,000-pound beef hot dog and decided it was too much hot dog for them to handle. They didn't even try to defeat the Gabogantes. They just ran all the way back to the kingdom, went up to the king and said, "Deal with the hot dog yourself." Because the Gabogantes were left unchecked, they spread across the kingdom, populating multiple regions, and they gained a newfound confidence they never knew themselves capable of. They set out on a quest to make all sorts of hot dogs. They set out to turn everything into glizzies. The party decides to pack up and focus on the main quest and head out to the Demon Lord lands. As they're leaving town, they stumble across a traveler, Grosvenor of the Many Groves. Grosvenor greets them, but they're wary of him, not sure what his intentions are or who he works for. He simply tells them neutrality is its own gift and its own curse. Our heroes raise their eyebrow, unsure what that means or what he intends to do, but have a feeling this isn't the only time they will meet this fellow. After some time on the road, they set up camp and take their last moment of rest before adventure truly begins. They find a mysterious stranger nearby named Alacor who tells them, "I wouldn't stand there if I were you. Not today. Yesterday is safer." And then he slinks off, cackling, disappearing into the night. But Lilith is concerned about the party. They've already ran away. Twice. So she decided to get the team to shape up. She whipped everyone into shape with some training and coordination exercises to build confidence. But as everyone trained, an unknown enemy rained meteor showers down upon them. Thanks to the coordination training, the team was able to dodge all of them with style. But who could have done this? In a land not so far away, where the mushrooms grow in the swamps, Iridia is doing her villain laugh after having just finished summoning meteors to bully our heroes. But the joke's on her, she's been stationed at this post in the Mushroom Lands and doesn't want to be here. She demanded to be relocated, but the Demon Lord rejected her application, and she's currently stuck among the mushrooms. There are those who wish they had this post in the Mushroom Lands. Huey, a druid, is a guest in these lands. He's just passing through, but collecting some mushrooms while he's here. He can't believe Iridia doesn't appreciate the wonders of this wonderful marsh. He'd rather be here than at his current post and doesn't want to go back. He demands mushrooms, which Sino, Ari's henchman, happily gives him a basket full of. Huey sighs, saddened by his departure, but as he sets out to leave, Sino grabs Huey's leg and begs and screams to be taken with him. Sino doesn't want to be left alone with Ari. Seeing this display of insubordination in one of her troops, Ari boots Sino off of Huey's leg and he goes flying and lands straight in the mush and begins to sink into it. Nobody dies. He became unemployed. He just floats around in the water. He's unemployed. And he becomes unemployed. Huey decides to take a souvenir with him before he goes. He crawls onto the mushroom up and down and around, kind of like a spider. Then he chews it around the trunk, like a beaver, until the mushroom falls over. Huey grabs the mushroom and drags it up the road with him towards the Demon Lord's castle. Meanwhile, the hero's party just entered the first demon general's stronghold. The first general has occupied the plains and is mounting an assault to take out the human kingdom. It is led by Templar, a paladin oath breaker. He warns the heroes to leave this place. It's the Demon King's territory, and he will do battle to stop them. But also, the meteorites keep hitting this place, and it's awful trying to dodge them, so the living conditions here really aren't all that great. Templar has been second-guessing his time in the army, not really seeing much benefit to it all. He's tired of all the meteorites that keep falling down, but he must uphold his duty. He challenges the heroes to battle. If they want to pass, they must defeat him. Templar attacks, but the team busts out the Waffle's shield and blocks his sword swing. Vidya takes out some manga to read while the battle is going on, while Chimley and Lilith jump in with a counter attack. They both had some lucky rolls and did critical hits, by the way, knocking Templar down to a weakened state. Templar counters and critically hits a Lilith back, but she tanks the hit and defeats him with an ice bolt. Templar falls to his knees, defeated. No longer seeing the point, he reflects upon his oath, and in a sudden turn of events, wishes to join the heroes in their quest against the Demon Lord. He will undo the evil he had done and bring justice to this world. However, do you remember those Gabogantes from earlier that our heroes ran away from, and how they spread across the world because they were left unchecked? Because they were left unchecked, they're here to cause trouble. The Gabogantes see an opportunity to seek favor from the Demon Lord, so they kidnap the betrayer. They grab Templar while he's in a weakened state and drag him away to turn him into glizzies. The heroes will get an opportunity to save him, and if they do, they will gain a powerful ally. But first, they'll have to make a trek through the mushroom swamps before they can reach him. As they reach the road near the swamp, they once again meet the traveler, Grosvenor. He gives them another hint on their journey. A person never crosses a river twice, for it will be the same water, and they are not the same person. Back near the Demon Lord's gate, Huey has planted the mushroom he has dragged back up to his post with him. He dances around the giant mushroom, twitching while chanting, until another mushroom pops up where he had danced. He takes a bite of the new mushroom and skitters up and down the walls of the gate that he was ordered to protect. He's bored. Oh, so very bored. Gate guard is a duty where he just waits for people to show up, and no one has shown up in quite some time. So he summons another mushroom. And another one. He summons them even while hanging off the side of the wall. One of the mushrooms even hit him in the face, catapulting him up into the air. But his actions aren't random. He was making a circle. A perfect circle. A summoning circle. It glows, it fizzles, and with the sound of a out pops Sino. Sino, who has desperately trying to escape the mushroom lands, is finally free. Oh, how grateful Sino is, and so happy that Huey can make such a perfect circle for such a perfect summoning. Because, well, Sino is what Sino is, because the last time he tried to make a summoning circle, it turned into a bit of an oval, and it gave him this small goat form he is in now. He, used to be human, but thankfully, that didn't happen again. Huey decides to train Sino in the arts, and that to become good at the arts, one must simply take a bite of the mushroom. But while instructing Sino, Huey's head snaps in completely different directions, and he stares out into the world. He simply mutters, "I sense another in the mushrooms." The otherwise murky swamps are colored with bright mushrooms, some growing to be as tall as towers. Our heroes follow the North Star to guide them through the marsh, but the stars are not on their side. They find themselves in the stronghold of a demon general, the one who's been tossing meteorites from the sky, the celestial goddess, Aridia. She's here to bring down those who have wished upon stars selfishly without ever saying thank you. Unlike the last demon general, Aridia is not alone. She has the help of an ally, Fruit Melody. Lilith readies for battle by chomping into a mysterious magic beam that fills her with power. Aridia uses starry reflections to create illusions of herself to confuse the heroes. They blur around the heroes so they don't know which is the real Aridia. But Chimley takes a chancla out of his bag and throws it aimlessly into the magic, hitting one of them and shattering one of the illusions. Lilith uses this opportunity to use her ultimate attack. She breaks through the illusions, but Aridia hides behind Fruit Melody, and Fruit is struck by the attack. How cunning of the Demon General to use Fruit as a shield. Fruit is still standing, but with the follow-up combo attack from Cat and Vidya, Ari's illusion is completely shattered, and Fruit is made unemployed and tossed out from the fight. But Aridia still has tricks up her sleeves. She calls down a starfall from the sky, raining down on the heroes. They all take damage, and Lilith is stumbling, while Vidya is conked in the head by one of the stars and falls over from the blast. Cat zips past the falling stars and pounces at Ari like a cat and scratches her with a claw attack. A critical hit cancels the spell. Aridia stumbles back as Chimley jumps in for an attack. Aridia channels another spell, setting up a constellation shield to block all incoming damage. Chimley swings and hits an invisible wall. Frustrated with all the tricks, Lilith uses telekinesis to sling mud at Aridia. She's like, ah, mud! Gross! Ew! She's thrown off balance. Her shield spell is disabled. Despite this, she strikes forward at Lilith with a critical strike. Lilith's health drops to 0, or it would have, if Vidya hadn't jumped in the way of the critical strike, blocking the attack and saving Lilith's life. He falls over and is knocked out. Back at the gate, gate guard Huey is growing tiny mushrooms in the cracks of the walls, while Sino has been working at making a perfect circle. And what a perfect circle it is. Sino attempts a summoning, but due to the circle being more of an oval shape, mushrooms begin to fuse to Sino's body. Realizing his mistake, horror sinks into his expression. Sino looks over at Huey and sees the old man's head turn 540 degrees. His eyes light up. Huey rushes towards Sino at a raging rate. Sino screams, running in fear down the road, screaming for Aridia's help. Back in the swamp, Lilith is surging with power. Vidya Monster had shielded her, and she'll use that moment to take out Aridia. She charges up her ultimate attack, but as Lilith's psychic attack wraps around the mushroom forest, the little goatman, Sino, comes rushing in with tears in his eyes. Aridia sees opportunity and pulls him in to shield her, and Sino is instead taken out by the ultimate attack. Here, you can join Fruit over here being unemployed. Everyone is dumbfounded. Ari, at the end of her rope, tries to summon in Huey to help her too. She needs heals, support, anything. Huey hears the call from far away, but Huey trips and falls and says, I'm sorry, Ari. You were on your own. Aridia is out of tricks now. Cat simply walks over to Aridia and bonks her on the head. As Ari falls over, she curses the heroes and takes away their shine. Lilith psionically blocks it though, so only the others are grayscale. The heroes find a place to rest and recover. They're exhausted and they need to regain their strength for the journey ahead. Vidya is injured badly, however, and the team makes a decision that he'll be left behind to rest and recover. Tomorrow, there will only be 3 of them left to continue the journey forwards. Night passes peacefully, with only the shenanigans of Huey skittering about at the gates not too far away. Somewhere, we hear Sino's voice singing from the afterlife. The oval of life. Along the mountain trails, the hero's party meets Satan. Okay, that sounds crazy, so let me give context for how this happened. First of all, there was a chatter literally named Satan during the writing stream for this. He is not the demon lord of this world, it's just some dude named Satan, who also so happens to look like Satan. Let's just say he was also isekai and became a soldier of the king. Long story short, he's also trying to defeat the demon lord. He's on the hero's side. Anyway, the hero's party meets Satan. Satan has been battling the demon general in this region and saw the Gobogantes with a captive general Templar not too long ago. The heroes had been wanting to save Templars, so they head in the general direction Satan saw them run off to. As they reach the upper peaks of the mountains, they see Templar being held by the Gabogantes, but as they approach, a loud sound cracks from the rocks above. A large shadow blocks out the sun from above as a large body hits the ground in front of them, rippling shockwaves that make their footing unsteady. Dust from the rocks sweep up off the ground, blinding their vision momentarily. But as the dust settles, they see the large object that fell and blocked their path was the body of a dragon. A dead dragon. They look up at what could have possibly killed it. At the peak of the mountain, looking down at them from above, is the demon general, Faltio. The demon general won't allow the traitor to be freed. Neither will the Gabogantes. The Gabogante boss gifts some of his henchmen to Faltio to help him take care of the intruders while he leaves on important business. What important business could a Gabogante have? The great promotion, of course. The Gabogante boss is going to have a chat with the Demon Lord and offer the Betrayer Templar in order to be promoted to a general. Faltio and the Gabogantes attack the heroes party. After they exchange a few blows, one of the Gabogantes is already feeling lazy, watching how the others handle the fight. He's like, yeah, I'm not really feeling it. And he's just kind of chilling on the side now. Lilith uses magic and successfully casts the spell Marshcana Marshmallow. Now, something about the Gabogantes, they do not like marshmallows. They immediately evaporate upon a marshmallow touching them. And Marshcana Marshmallow is an AoE healing spell where the target is healed by marshmallows enveloping them. And Lilith doesn't cast this successfully once, but twice. As the Gabogantes are about to fade away, Faltio devours them and their marshmallowy goodness. Tastes a little something like hot dogs in marshmallow. Consuming the Gabogantes powers Faltio up, and he grows in size. When Faltio attacks, his arms become dragon claws, and he critically strikes Cat, and she goes flying and crashes into the ground. Satan is targeted next, and is crushed. Satan is knocked out and becomes unemployed. Everyone's health is low, and things are looking rough, but Lilith is fully charged and ready to do her ultimate attack. And so, the party decides to run. Yeah, run. They decided to run. They successfully get away, and Faltio has a hard time catching them. It was a lot of hot dog and marshmallow. So he sits down and waits for the Gabogantes in his stomach to digest. And while he sits, he reflects that he's quite sad he didn't get a chance to touch Cat's floofy ears. Maybe next time. Due to their failure to defeat this demon general, they failed to save Templar, and he was made into hot dogs. After escaping, the hero's party hides and rests up. While they sleep, a certain druid has yet to fall asleep, even once. Huey is still growing mushrooms. They're growing in the ground, growing off his body, and new mega mushrooms sprout, breaking through the cracks in the walls. The gate, the wall he was sworn to defend, cracks and crumbles. The Demon Lord is not going to be happy about this, but he cares not, for all that matters right now is mushroom. The Gabogante boss walks right through the crumbled wall without any resistance whatsoever. He turns to Huey and thinks, what a weird guy. He gets some of his henchmen to stand guard so nothing can disturb his interview for the great promotion. Upon reaching the gate that guards the Demon Lord's castle, the heroes are surprised to see the wall is already destroyed. Destroyed by mushrooms. However, Huey and the Gabogantes still stand in their way. Lilith begins the battle with her ultimate attack, immediately evaporating one of the Gabogantes. He's like, "Rah!" And then he dies. The remaining Gabogante suddenly has mushrooms pop out of his skin. It's been infected by the mushroom spores and has become a Shroom-gante. Feeling antsy about all this, the hero party tries, yet again, to run. But this time, they fail to escape. Huey attacks a few times but completely misses all of his swings. Meanwhile, Shroomgante can't resist the lazy nature of his Gabogante origin and kicks back to relax a little mid-combat. The heroes are stunned that these are the gate guards. Cat pulls out a chocolate milk grenade and blows up the Shroomgante and Huey with a powerful explosive blast. The Shroomgante evaporates to the sugary sweetness of the grenade, and Huey falls to the ground and starts freaking out. The party watches as Huey convulses and warps and changes. Unbelievably, Huey turns into a mushroom. He wiggles happily, content with his new form. Cat, Lilith, and Chimley simply turn towards the castle and walk through the broken down wall. As they're crossing into the Demon Lord's stronghold, Grosvenor appears once more. He comes with a warning, telling them a dark intent resides within her luminous form. You must forsake her materiality or be consumed by her quintessence. The party is not entirely sure what this means, but surely should heed the warning. Our heroes have finally made it to the castle, the throne room of the Demon Lord. On its throne sits Moshi Mika, the Demon Lord. Yeah, about that. Chat wanted me to be the Demon Lord. I had no say, really. Next to her is her bodyguard, Twark. And in the room, the Gabogante boss is in the middle of his interview for the Great Promotion. The room falls silent as Lilith, Chimley, and Cat all enter the room. The Demon Lord, impressed with their ability to take out 3 of her generals and make it into this very throne room, gives the heroes an offer. Betray your king, work for me, and I'll give you half of the world. Half of what I own. Half of the chocolate milk supply. Chimley would never betray the king. He is a loyal and devout follower, so he swings his weapon up, ready for combat. Lilith, likewise, has no interest in having half of anything and is here to defeat the Demon Lord. But Cat's ears perk up at hearing chocolate milk. Half the world's chocolate milk is enticing. She asks, will I also be cured of my grayscale curse? And the Demon Lord snaps her fingers and the curse is lifted. Cat, in an unexpected turn of events, changes sides and betrays her party. But things get worse. Much worse. The Demon Lord looks to the Gabogante boss and tells him, the promotion is yours. You can be one of my new generals if these heroes are defeated. And another enters the throne room. Faltio, following the trails of the heroes, returns to the castle to finish the job from earlier. And Iridia had also crawled from the Mushroom Marsh all the way to the castle to cheer for the Demon Lord in battle. Even if she herself can't do battle anymore. Things are looking impossible for our heroes. It's become Lilith and Chimley versus the Demon Lord, the Gabogante boss, Faltio, Twark, and Cat. A truly epic battle is about to unfold. The hero's first action, the best action, they decide immediately is to simply run. That's it. Just run. They don't try to fight. They don't even give it one round, one shot, nothing. They just run. And they successfully get away. They ran all the way back to Mithril's kingdom and tell the king what happened, how they were overwhelmed, how it couldn't be helped. They were even betrayed, and there's no possible way to win. Needless to say, I was stunned this is how it ended. Chat started this whole thing by running away, and they ended this whole thing by running away. So, what does this mean for the story? Cat is promoted to Demon General. She takes her place as the new gate guard and is paid handsomely in chocolate milk. Iridia is re-employed as a Demon General and given a stronghold in the plains. Faltio returns to the mountain region and continues his duties. As for our 4th general, the Demon Lord has promoted the Gabogante boss, Congratulations on your new rank as a Demon General. What was a simple starter boss to help chat figure out how combat should work has somehow not only survived to the end of the story, but granted the highest rank a demon could achieve outside of becoming Demon Lord themselves. The human city is raided, and the citizens all flee the capital. They run to the nearby port, get on a boat, and sail off to escape. But who shall be the new ruler of this city? The Gabogante boss may have it. He earned it. He takes the Human King's crown and slides it over one of his horns, where it fits perfectly. As the ship sails off across the ocean to escape the Demon Lord, Grosvenor watches from the cliffs and shakes his head in disappointment. The heroes had failed to heed his warnings. Wait, we forgot about someone. They did forget Vidya in the Mushroom Kingdom. He wakes up and he's just like, huh? Guys, what happened? Guys, what happened to the world while I was gone? What did I wake up to? That's it. That's the story. That's the isekai chat put together when they combined their brain cells. Somehow, I ended up rooting for the Gabogantes. I don't know how this happened, but they were never intended to live past chapter 1. But anyways, if you watched this point, I hope it was entertaining for you. I will see you for now. Bye-bye. Mithy's Kingdom is mine. Mithy's Kingdom is yours. That was it. That was the story that we've constructed. Thank you all.